Tom Duffy Jr., you're running for Sawyer County Circuit Court Judge. That's an April 7th election. What distinguishes your candidacy?
Well, first of all, I think I'm qualified. I graduated from law school from Marquette University in 1988, and I practiced law for 21 years. First 2 years I practiced tax law in Milwaukee, moved back to Hayward and worked with my father for 2 years, then opened my own practice on January 1st of 1993. I have a general practice, do all kinds of law. We do family law, criminal law, business law. I've been the attorney for Sawyer County since 1991. Done all the things for the county, represented all the departments, do everything except employment law and the child support agency. And I've been the the mayor of a city for 14 years. I was elected in 1995, so I think that gives me a lot of administrative experience. I think the two most important things for the judge is to have the legal background and to also be a good administrator. And I think that those two things I have, and I think that's what makes me a good candidate for the judge's position.
There's a feeling on the Lakota Reservation that laws are unjustly enforced, that there's disproportionate enforcement on the res, and that when people end up in Sawyer County, they don't get adequate representation and they get tougher sentences. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that there's two issues that you have to deal with. One is poverty, and I think poverty goes to a couple of things. One is that it deals with representation. You don't get to pick the attorney of your choice. You get a public defender, and not that public defenders are bad, but you aren't getting an attorney of your choice. I think another thing with poverty is you end up with tribal members sometimes that end up with, because they maybe drive a poorer car, that they get pulled over for OWIs more often or other traffic offenses because maybe their car's not as nice as a non-native member. And so that happens. I think also you have situations, and I was talking to the jail today, and currently there's 76 prisoners in jail today. 29 are white, 1 is black, and 46 are native. Of that 46, though, 4 are there for non-payment of fines, and 6 are there for non-payment of child support. So you end up with a larger number there because of poverty. And those issues I don't think would be there. If there was more money, you wouldn't be there for child support. You wouldn't be there for non-payment of fines. And if sometimes poverty comes into effect, like I said, if you're driving a nicer car, maybe you don't get pulled over because your taillight's not out or things like that. And when you end up with those slight minor offenses, whether it's an OAR, operating after revocation, or an OWI, that starts a criminal history, or at least a history. If you get one OWI, a second OWI is criminal. And so you can end up with that situation. The other situation is a problem in the entire county is alcohol and drug related. Sawyer County has the 3rd highest per capita alcohol rate in the state of Wisconsin. And what we need to do is we need to work more on dealing with treating the alcohol and drug illness and combine that with maybe some punishment and not do punishment only. And I think those are some big issues that we can deal with. The new STOP program, where it's fully implemented, will allow people that have second and subsequent OWIs to take part in a treatment portion of a treatment program. And if they successfully complete that treatment program, their jail sentence will be shortened. So hopefully dealing with some of the alcohol issues and drug issues, and then trying to reduce the amount of time that they spend in jail. The last issue that we need to deal with is dealing with our youth. And one of the things that I proposed, if I get to be judge, is immediately opening a truancy court. And the truancy court is going to meet twice a week, and every 2 weeks. And when we have a child that gets a truancy citation, the child's got to be there, the parents have to be present, and the school's got to be present. And we resolve the issues that the children have at that time. There's no adjournments. We get them in and we resolve it at that time. And what that does, hopefully, is keep those children in school, get them high school educated, high school diplomas, and hopefully make them more apt to get jobs in the work world, and maybe go on to college. So I think if you can reduce the number of high school dropouts, you reduce the number of delinquents, you reduce the number of youthful criminals, and ultimately reduce the number of adult criminals. So those 3 elements, I mean, if you can work on the poverty issue is one, but obviously sometimes if you work on some of these other ones, kids get better jobs, and the poverty issue goes away. The alcohol and drug issue, and then, like I said, dealing with the youth.
There's a feeling on the street that you're connected to the power structure, deeply connected to the power structure in Sawyer County. and that this is actually the first contested judges election in history. What's your thought about that? What is your connection to the power people in Sawyer?
Well, and I'll make some assumptions as to who people think the power people are, but I've been the mayor for 14 years in the city. And as the mayor, one of the things that I don't do is I don't go out and try to do something for political benefit. I mean, I probably could take part in, for example, the Muskie Fests and the Lumberjacks and the Berkey and be the welcoming person to Hayward. And that's not my job. My job is to run an efficient government, to work for the taxpayers, to keep taxes low, and that's what I do. Do I have a relationship with the sheriff, which I would assume would be one of the power players, or the DA, or the judge? Any one of those people. I guess I know the sheriff professionally. I know the DA professionally. We don't socialize together. They haven't been to my house. I haven't been to their house. And I think people, because, and we come from a big family. My dad had 11 kids, and most of us stayed around here. And so I have a brother that's a dentist in town. I have a brother that owns a stove shop in town. I have a brother that's a fishing guide in town. The name is pretty well known. But if you think that we're connected to the power, I mean, we have nothing to really do with the county. I'm just an attorney that tries to represent my clients to the best of my ability. And because I'm who I am, doesn't give me any greater respect in the court system. You get respect by what you do and how you argue your client's case, and that's it. And there's no preference given to what your last name is or what relationship you have.
This is Nick Vanderpye reporting for LCO TV. Thanks a lot.